these girls in my shows, they loving me, but I don't know why I keep calling, why I keep calling you.
All the models to the floor right now. All the models to the floor right now. What? Huh? All the models to the floor right now. All the models to the floor right now.
Of the Sports Reality. My name is Jeremy John, here to bring to you all things sports. Let's welcome my man Mike in the building. Mike, how are you?
What's up, man?
Yo, man, how was the weekend, man?
The weekend was great for me this week, man. A lot of stuff happened. A lot.
Okay, explain.
Well, I was fortunate enough to have a good friend pop by and was like, you know what? Hey, you want to go to this was the most randomest thing ever. I was just finished working, doing some stuff, and then all of a sudden he was like, "Yo, do you want to go to the Nationals game?" I said,
I saw you.
Yeah, I was like, "You have a ticket to the first playoff game for the Nationals since last year?" He said, "Yeah." I was like, "This is like a $300 ticket." Yeah, you want it? I was like, yeah, you can Skype it if you want. I'm like, that I didn't
No,
need.
no,
That's not what I meant.
I want to go.
I want to go. I want to enjoy myself because this is a $5,000 experience, But yeah, I enjoyed myself, man. But the sad part about it that they lost that day, and I went to the Friday game.
Yeah.
And I'm happy the game got postponed because I thought that a little colder weather will help out.
A little colder weather will
help out for the next game, yeah. Because I thought the Dodgers was like more in their element at that time. Because it was nice and toasty on Friday.
Oh yeah, it was definitely, Matt. Well, we got a lot to talk about. You've already mentioned you went to a Major League postseason game already.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of jelly. I was
Don't be.
I mean,
yes, be jealous. Be jealous. I just didn't mean this. I just don't want it to hurt.
Because I was. This is the thing. I was supposed to. My friend invited me to go to Saturday's game.
You should have went.
Which ended up being yesterday's game. But he invited me about a week and a half ago, and I was like, yeah, I may go. Then I then planned to go out of town to New York this weekend. And we were going to leave Saturday morning. So I was like, yeah, I won't be here for the Saturday game. So I just didn't buy the tickets. Well, then, of course, Saturday's game gets postponed, and then I ended up not going to New York. So I was like, man, like if I had got those tickets, so I would have went yesterday for the game. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna definitely get into postseason baseball, also college football this past weekend, NFL. Were you able to catch any games this weekend?
Man, it's a good day for the city. That's all I gotta say.
It is a good day for the city. It is.
Because you know how they was talking. It's like just on literally Friday at like 1:00 in the day. They were talking like, oh man, if these two teams don't, it's gonna be a sad Monday.
I mean, it had the potential of being it definitely had the potential.
Definitely had the potential. You're exactly right. Because Friday didn't start too good.
No, Friday did not start too good, and I'm not gonna lie. We'll get into that soon, but I had some feelings during that game that I wanna get into. But like I said, we're gonna get into college football, NFL, and also Major League Baseball preseason. Oh, and then there's NBA preseason, man. NBA is coming back. Do you realize the NBA is having meaningful games or regular season games starting at in like 2.5 weeks?
No, I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. Oh,
Yeah,
come
man.
on, Morgan.
It's getting real, man. It's getting real out here. All right, let's. Today's October 10th. It's October 10th, 2016, and on October 10th, 1865, the billiard ball was patented by John Wesley Hyatt. 1964, NBC TV aired the opening ceremonies of the 1964 Summer Olympics in Tokyo. It was the first live color TV program to be transmitted to the U.S. by satellite. 1977, Joe Namath played the last game of his National Football League career. 1979, Mark Messier made his NHL debut with the Edmonton Oilers, and that was the Edmonton Oilers that also had Wayne Gretzky and a lot of other hockey greats that had that dynasty pretty much in the 80s. It was pretty much the Edmonton Oilers and the New York Islanders that were pretty much dominating the 80s when it came to hockey. 1987, Tom McLean finished rowing across the Atlantic Ocean. It set the record at 54 days and 18 hours. Did you hear that, Mike? And Mike is not here right now. Morgan, you're walking right by. But maybe you should.
Heard you. What did you just say?
So you heard me, but you don't know what I said.
No, I don't know what you said.
I said Tom McLean finished rowing across the Atlantic Ocean.
Wow. What day? What day was that?
Today, in October 10th, 1987.
You know what? If I got on that
set
rowboat,
the record.
Set the record
At 54 days and 18 hours.
What year was this?
1987.
In 1987.
See, you didn't.
I know.
You didn't. You heard, but you didn't listen.
I didn't listen, but like I'm trying to compute this together because I'm like trying to figure out how long it would take me to get across the Atlantic.
It would take you.
I probably would get here today from 1987.
Maybe.
From 1987 till
Or you
that
probably
day,
would. Or you probably wouldn't have made it.
Oh, I wouldn't have made it. No, there's some sharks out there.
But yeah, Morgan, do you think you can row across the Atlantic?
I definitely could, sir.
Okay, and
Yes.
and how long do you think it would take?
How long did it take this?
It took him 54 days. So how long would it take you?
It probably takes me about 54 years, but I'd get there.
Oh, okay, but you can do it.
I could do it. Oh,
Okay.
definitely. I could do it.
We're not going to stop.
But you can-
We started. We're not going to stop.
also
It's
on
going to take
this,
a long time.
also on this day in 1987, Doug Jarvis ended his streak of 984 straight games in the NHL. The streak started on October 8th, 1975.
See?
And in
Proves
2011,
my point exactly. We stop and we never start. We start and we never stop. See?
2011, Nelson Cruz of the Texas Rangers hit the first ever postseason walk-off grand slam to give the Rangers a 7-3 win. The win gave the Rangers a 2-0 lead in the ALCS. I do remember that
The
year.
Washington Senators? Yeah, okay.
That was also the year where he was in right field with 2 outs in the ninth, and he choked in the outfield and missed the ball. It was a fly ball. It was coming to him. I would say it was kind of tough, but when you are a professional outfielder, you should be able to still get that. And I remember he like short-armed it because he was like, I'm not sure. And he was like, and he short-armed it. Cardinals get a chance to tie it up, and then there it goes. Cardinals win the World Series. If he had just caught the ball, they would have won. But yeah. Anyways, let's get into it. We're already talking about baseball. Let's talk about baseball right now. MLB postseason. You mentioned you went to Game 1 of the Dodgers here going up against the.
But I'm gonna tell you this: I did miss the opening ceremony. I was mad about that. Did miss that part.
Who threw the first? Oh,
I missed that. That's why I'm
so
letting
you
you know.
don't know.
I missed all the first game treatment they give for the playoffs. I missed all of that.
True.
I was
did.
mad about that part, but I did get to see an exciting game. And Harper does a great job of getting these runners in. By the way, got to continue
So-
with that.
True. Let's talk about real quick the wild card round. We starting in American League.
Yeah.
That was a very good game. Went to 11 innings. Toronto wins 5-2. There was some drama in that game. You had a fan throw a beer bottle at the Orioles outfielder. The outfielder of Asian descent, I don't know which country, also said he heard racial slurs thrown at him and hurled at him. So the beer was not the only thing that was thrown and hurled at him. And then Adam Jones chimed in and said, pretty much, I'm paraphrasing. He said, it happens so often that I'm just numb to it now. So he says, to me, it happens all the time. And I guess for this
I
specific
don't want to say the word, but is usually the word that I know they throw out. In baseball.
Yeah, but
it's just kind of messed up that they do that. Because I remember when Ichiro was on the field, they had stories about Ichiro.
well, yeah.
When he first came in, so yeah, I can believe it.
So he but not only that, you had that going on, but then you had Juan Encarnacion hit the 3-run home run in the 11th, which was a bomb. And now there was some drama. Zach Britton, who you could say is probably the second best player on the Orioles, but their best pitcher overall. He is a closer. He is a reliever. However, his stats this year, he had a 0 ERA. He only allowed 4 runs all year, and those runs happened in April. He hasn't allowed a run since April. He is also, this is one of the, I'm not going to say the first time, but one of the first times that a reliever is a nominee for the Cy Young Award. Usually that's going to starting pitchers because they're more innings. But this is one of the rare times that a reliever is up for the Cy Young Award. Now, there were several opportunities to get him in the game. In the 9th inning, he could have been up there to kind of hold it down for the Orioles, and that didn't happen. Then we had it in the same thing in the 10th inning. And he is a pitcher that can go multiple innings, even though he is a closer. So you had that, like, okay, maybe he's going to go in the 10th, and if the Orioles score in the 11th, then it's still a safe situation. You know, it's a one game scenario, so this is technically your last game. It can be your last. You got to play it as if it's your last game. He didn't get in, and then the 11th inning, Ubaldo Jimenez came in, and Ubaldo Jimenez is a starting pitcher, and at that point in the 11th, it did kind of look like the game may go for a while. So then you had a manager Buck Showalter, who, by the way, is one of the best managers ever. One of the best ever.
He brought the Orioles out of
yes, one of the best ever. Not just them. He brought the Yankees out of some mess.
True.
The Diamondbacks.
Yep.
I mean, he's known for bringing teams that were horrible back to like prominence.
And not really changing up the roster too.
No, doing it with the same talent. He's known for that. So he knows a lot. But in this situation,
don't know.
This situation, he put Ubaldo Jimenez in, and Ubaldo was he got a runner on base, and then the first couple pitches to Encarnacion, it was like, whoa, like, all right. A lot of people were like, hey, this is the time that you just say, hey, bring in Zach Britton. Zach Britton can probably pitch for a few innings if needed. And baseball, maybe because I don't throw the ball 90 miles an hour, I don't understand how it feels on my shoulders and my elbows and my hands and the rest of my body. But I feel like a closer or a reliever that has, yes, they've been pitching all year, but in playoff situations, I do feel like they can probably be like, look, I can push it a little more. Like, I know that I'm not used to this, but I can push it because I know this season is ending soon, regardless of if I win or lose. Like, I know when I play, and I'm not a high class, an A1 athlete, because obviously if I was, I would not be doing this show, right? Correct Correct, Mike?
No, you could still be doing this show if you were doing baseball.
I think I might actually be playing if I was on there. Not
I mean, you might not be in the playoffs right now.
but,
I mean,
but my point is
you
like
might not be in the major leagues right now.
I've been in situations-
Bay Sox Stadium out there. I'm just saying.
I've
I'm
been
not
in-
hurting. You know.
I've been in situations even when I actually played organized sports where it's like, look, this is it. Like I know I'm tired, but this is it. Like after this, it's over. Like I could go to sleep tonight, like and I could rest the rest of this week. You know, I'm fine. Like
Instead of waking
let's
up
keep
at
on
5 o'clock
going.
in the morning.
You know what I'm
and
saying?
going again.
I'm trying to win, so let's keep on going. I hear that like, oh, the arm's gonna get tired, things like that. Zach Britton can last a few innings. And,
Yeah, he could.
and then their next game, if they had won, would have been 2 days later. Maybe he doesn't have to pitch the first game, but then he'll be ready for the second game. But they said that, they didn't put him in. Ubaldo ends up throwing a high fastball that Encarnacion just demolished, just took it out there. As soon as it left his bat, the catcher of the Orioles, Matt Wieters, just got up and walked off because he just knew that ball was gone. None of the outfielders moved to the wall. They knew it was gone. If you listen to the radio broadcast on the Orioles radio network, as soon as they left his bat,
They heard it.
they said, and the season is over. That's all. They didn't even say the ball is going to left field, right field, center. Just said the season's over.
Over. Yeah.
So, of course, they asked Showalter, hey, like, what happened? And he's like, hey, man, I wanted him in a safe situation, and he's, like I said, much smarter than all of us. But I thought that at that point in the game, you definitely had to put Britton into the game. And unfortunately, it did not happen, man.
Think about this though. You won that game. You won that game. You get into the playoffs with Britton, and then you don't have Britton anymore in the playoffs.
Why? Because of the few extra innings.
Yeah, you can literally lose them for like a good 3 games.
This is where I say any player could get hurt any play.
Yeah, I understand that, but Buck Showalter is going to use this guy. He has plans in his head to say, you know what, we win this game. This guy is going to be here. This is where we win these games in these situations. Like that's why I say that. Like at the end of the day, he did the right thing for his pitcher. But I feel what you're saying. If you want to get that win, you got to go out there and you got to take it all.
Yeah,
you know?
you got to take it all, man. You got to go out there and take it all. Let's move on to the NL wild card, and it was a 0-0 game up until like the 8th inning when I can't remember who hit the home run. Oh, Gillespie was some random guy. Gillespie hit the 3-run home run. Madison Bumgarner pitched a 9-inning shutout to beat the Mets on the road in New York. And it's quite impressive. Madison Bumgarner is probably one of the best pitchers in postseason history. He is quite impressive. Excuse me. Quite impressive. The Mets, if you're a Mets fan, you should just be happy you made the playoffs with all the issues that happened this year. At one point, they were so far back that it was like there's no way they're going to make the playoffs, and they ended up making it as a wild card. And it's just something I guess you should be impressed that it happened and just be happy you made it.
Yeah.
Moving on now to the AL and NL. DS. We have one that's already finished between Toronto and Texas. Remember we said we wanted to see this matchup because of all the drama between the Rangers and the Blue Jays?
Yeah, pretty much.
And there was no drama because the Blue Jays just dominated from beginning to end. They beat the Texas Rangers 10-1 in Game 1. Game 2, they won 5-3. And then last night, they beat the Texas Rangers again in extra innings, 7-6.
See, that's the thing I don't like about baseball. You know, like you can literally go to sleep you can go to sleep on Thursday and wake up on Monday afternoon and a whole team could definitely have been out the playoff. That's the
Well,
difference
that's the
about
makeup
baseball.
of baseball. It's all based on series. Remember, you play 3-game series
Uh-huh.
all year round. So, that's the thing about baseball in the playoffs. It's not like the NBA where if it goes 7 games, it's going to be 14 or 15
Yeah.
days before you to play them all. But yeah, that's the I guess like you say, the gift and the curse of a baseball series,
And
either the regular season or
people complain about like how long baseball really is, but like it's really short when it comes to the playoff season. Their playoff seasons is shorter than anybody
yeah,
else's.
and those games are interesting, man. Games are interesting. The other ALDS matchup, the Boston Red Sox are down to the Cleveland Indians, 2-0. They lost the first game. Well, Cleveland won the first game 5-4, and then won the next game 6-0. Game 3 was postponed. It was supposed to be yesterday. It will be tonight. Moving on to the NLDS, the other two. We have San Francisco is down 0-2 to the Cubs. Of course, the Cubs were the best team all year.
Yeah. I didn't see San Fran knock some Cubs out.
This is the everyone's saying this is the year the Cubs break the curse. I already told you it ain't happening. I already told you who's gonna win this year.
Yeah.
I already told you.
You gotta get past LA though.
True.
You gotta get past LA.
But San Francisco's down. You want to hear a stat? San Francisco in the last 9 elimination games in the playoffs. You want to hear a stat? What their record is?
Go ahead. I know it's gonna be a nice 0 at the end of this.
Yeah, 9-0. 9-0 in the last 9 elimination games. So we're gonna see. And also, they have an interesting thing that happens, pattern that they always win on even years. They won in 2014, won in 2012, and won in 2010. So
Yeah.
it's 2016. It may happen. And in 2012, this is exactly what happened. They were down 0-2 in game 3 in the 9th inning
Well,
with 2 outs and 2 strikes. This is about they were 1 strike away from losing,
wow.
and they beat the Cincinnati Reds. And then they won 2 more games to beat the Reds, and then went on their way to win the World Series.
Wow.
We're talking about a team that was literally 1 strike away from getting swept, not just losing. One strike away from getting swept, and then came back and won a World Series. So this is the team that we're dealing with.
Yeah, this is.
This is
I just hate the fact that like the World Series like logo I'm looking on the screen is like next to San Fran and the Orioles and the Blue Jays.
yeah. And the other NLDS series, you went to Dodgers Washington matchup game 1.
It's a great game, man. That was a great night.
It was a great game, but I think everyone was looking up for the pitching matchup of Kershaw and Scherzer, and they themselves actually did not do anything.
They didn't.
Yeah, it really was. It was really,
all.
yeah, it was limited strikeouts. They weren't, I don't know. It was weird.
I'm gonna tell you what the normal count was. The normal count was like to normally see like at each bat from each pitcher was 2, 2, 1, 2. It was 2, 1, 2. And it was like that. That's what it would look like. You would see 2 balls, 2 strikes, and possibly a hit to get on base. That was it. It was like you were like, this is not a great pitching matchup, but the batters are seeming to enjoy this. But it was, it was a good game. It was a great night. It was great energy. But at the end of the day, it was a slow paced game.
Yeah.
You saw a lot of guys actually. What they were trying to do is just get the guys on base. We were playing that for a big minute. Like nobody wanted to hit a home run. So
playing a lot of small ball.
Basically.
Yeah. But then the Nationals bounced back yesterday with a 5-2 victory.
But he still got that home run in the first inning, though, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Back to back.
Yeah. Crazy.
I forgot the guy's name, but he had a home run in the first game too. Didn't get a chance to see that because once I got in there, everybody was going crazy.
So
a
yeah,
home run.
so we have game 3 today actually in LA. Nationals going up against the Dodgers.
I
Also
always wonder
game
how that works out. I know it's not really that much jet lag coming from the East Coast to the West Coast, right?
I don't. It shouldn't be as bad as it's coming from west to east. It's usually worse coming back west to east because you're
Okay.
losing time.
You're losing time. Oh, okay.
Yes, you're going from When you're going, you actually gain some time back. Yes, it's still traveling, but
Yeah.
and it still is 3,000 miles. But
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, I mean they should be all right. It's 2016. There's an advancement in medicine and and training. So game 3 is today at 4 p.m. Eastern time for the Nationals and the Dodgers. At 6 p.m. we have the Indians going up against the Red Sox. Red Sox can be eliminated tonight, and also game 3, Cubs at San Francisco is at 9:30 p.m. and that Giants can be eliminated right now. Let's get into some college football right now and talk about some of these matchups, these top 25 matchups. Unfortunately, I know Maryland is not in the top 25, but unfortunately they took an L, I think, against I mean, when I stopped watching they were losing. They took an L against the Penn State Nittany Lions. Did that happen?
Yeah.
I think they did. Yeah. So let's get through some of these scores real quick. Number 3, Clemson. They did what you're supposed to do to bad teams, demolished them. They beat Boston College 56-10. Number 19, Boise State beat New Mexico 49-21. Number 1, Alabama beat number 16, Arkansas 49-30. You can't tell me that the SEC just has outstanding defenses if teams are in losing efforts still scoring 30 points. Remember that was the thing?
Yeah, that means
The defenses are so hard. My
that's
gosh.
why we have to rank them so much better than everyone else.
Like, okay, the SEC may be the best conference, yes, but it is not head and shoulders better than everyone else. I'm going to tell you what defense is the best defense in the nation, and it is in the Pac-12, and that is Washington.
Yeah.
Washington is shutting down, like, Heisman candidates
But you know
left
what
and
they
right.
are, right? You remember, I hate to tell you, you know why we always say Dallas Cowboys is the America's team?
Why?
It's because it's the best promotional plan that you can ever do for a football team.
Hey.
And the same thing with SEC. Like right now, we say those are the big dogs.
Or the SEC says that.
Yeah, they say it all the time. But
You could be an LSU fan, and if Alabama's in the national title, oh yeah, we won.
Exactly.
SEC, no. Your school lost.
Exactly.
Your school didn't make it. That's why you're fired Les Miles, because he can't beat the same Alabama that you're celebrating wins the national title. SEC folks are so backwards, man. I remember I had one lady block me on Twitter. Do you remember when Johnny Manziel came onto the scene?
Yeah.
Like where he had that game against Alabama, where and that was his first like national televised game, because of course all Texas A&M games you can see them on cable and stuff. But this was the first national, like where it was the 3:30 matchup on CBS, and Johnny Manziel demolishes Alabama in Tuscaloosa. And I made a comment. Now, mind you, this young lady is a fan of Arkansas. Not Alabama, Arkansas. Texas A&M
Was
is
this Johnny Lynn?
Johnny Manziel.
Oh no, I thought the lady that called was it Johnny Lynn.
Oh, I don't know.
No.
And this was the year Texas A&M had just gotten to the SEC. So we had Texas A&M, who for decades was in the Pac-12. I mean, Big 12, and we're in the Southwest Conference. And then they finally just get into the SEC, and everyone's saying, oh, they're going to be bad because they're not used to the defenses and all of that. How did this freshman quarterback go in there and march into Alabama and beat them? So I made the comment, and I said, yeah, man, SEC ain't looking that great if this freshman quarterback from the Big 12 pretty much beats them. This woman blocked me and was like, "Don't how you dare you talk about the SEC?" And I'm like, "You're not even a fan of Alabama, and you're on me about that." That's how SEC fans are. But yeah, SEC is good. It's probably overall the best conference, but it is not head and shoulders. Like the Pac-12 is right behind them. The ACC is right behind them. The Big Ten, when it comes to their top dogs, can play with anyone in SEC. So I mean, but Alabama overall, Alabama themselves are probably the best team in the nation. That's why they're number one. Ohio State beats Indiana 38-17. We had Michigan go up against Rutgers, and this was ridiculous. You want to hear the score, Mike? You want to hear this score?
Go ahead.
Michigan against Rutgers.
Oh.
Rutgers was a decent. I mean, it's always been a decent football school. Not really a powerhouse, but still decent.
They was known for their basketball team.
No. Their basketball's horrible. Their football's really what it was.
Either one.
But you want to hear the score?
Go ahead.
What do you think the score was? I'm giving you 3 chances to hear.
35-2.
No, I'm gonna give you 2 more chances. That's strike 1.
Is it really that? Okay. Was it okay? All right. 40-24.
Strike 2.
It had to be a big lead, man. It's Rutgers, because Rutgers really hasn't been doing that great in football.
You're right about that. I'll give you that. They haven't been doing great.
Like so, and like I'm giving the losing team to Rutgers, by the way. So all right, I'm gonna make it even closer. 20-21, Rutgers.
No.
No.
Michigan on the road beat Rutgers 78-0.
So I was correct in the beginning though. I wasn't. I
You
was
were
horrible. That is a big-
78-0.
I gave Rutgers a chance.
All at home. They didn't score a single point at home and lost by 78.
That's a basketball score.
Yeah, 78 is a basketball score. They could have split the score, and that could have been a Big Ten basketball game right there. That could have been, like I said, a Big Ten basketball game.
That's sad.
Oh man, remember
What did they
we
do? What did they do? Like
nothing. They
like-
didn't do a thing.
Like, did no one like review this game? Like, maybe did something happen here?
They didn't do a thing. That was the
Like,
problem.
somebody was cheating. They didn't check them for steroids or nothing.
I don't know, man. But this was the game we spoke about last week that can be the tricky one. Remember we said Houston going up against Navy and how I wanted to go to that game?
Yeah, that's the one I was over there.
Well, Navy beat Houston 46-40. Houston now has one loss, and unfortunately, because they're in the American Conference, that one loss, Navy's pretty good, but that one loss might kill them with the playoff situation. They can go
Yeah.
undefeated the rest of the way, and they're gonna say, well, this is when they're gonna put
You
2
lost to
SEC
Navy.
teams, in there, and not put them. Houston's number 6 still.
Shouldn't have lost the Navy.
Tennessee finally got their loss. They lost to Texas A&M 45-38. Florida State beats Miami in that rivalry 20-19. Miami had a chance to tie the game with the PAT and got it blocked. I also said of North Carolina was going to beat Virginia Tech, and it was the complete opposite. Virginia Tech beat North Carolina 34-3. LSU Florida was postponed because of Hurricane Matthew, and they're having drama between
Everything in
both
Florida was
schools
postponed.
trying to figure out if they're going to replay this game. So we're going to see how that goes down. There may be some playoff implications going down with that, but we will definitely check it out and see what's up. Mike, I was about to tell you to play some highlights, and then I realized I never sent it to you, so I am doing that right now. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to talk about I guess so I know you're happy because your Skins won, correct?
Yes.
Going into the game, by the way, it's titled Show 167. It's getting there. It's still uploading. But going into the game, did you realistically think they were going to beat the Ravens?
Now, I had a feeling with our defense was getting strong and getting better as a unit. I didn't think they was going to I didn't think they was going to be the offense of the game. No, I didn't think that at all. I didn't think they were. I didn't think the Redskins were going to go in there in the Ravens Stadium and win. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I didn't think so either, man. I must.
I mean, I'm a Redskin fan. I believe in our mantra. I believe in our city. But you got to remember, the Ravens has been doing really nice against teams like us. So I mean, they're not beating the top team. They always beating teams like us. I'm not gonna say we're a top team yet. It's the honest truth.
So yeah, let's go through some of these scores real quick, and you got the folder, Mike.
Give me a second.
Okay. And while we're going through those scores, if you could just play the NFL plays and
I got you.
the split screen, and we can watch the highlights and also talk about these scores and talk about these games. Starting with last Thursday's game, the 49ers, okay, the score is 33-21, but the game was really not even that close. Blaine Gabbert was getting booed left and right by his fan base. Colin Kaepernick may be in pretty soon.
Yeah.
Because Chip Kelly even said, I don't know who's starting the next game. All through this year, he's been saying, hey, Gabbert's the starter, Gabbert's the starter. Now he's like, I do not know who will be my starter. Quite horrible. By the way, Arizona did not play with their starting quarterback, Carson Palmer, because of a concussion. Tom Brady's return against the Browns, and they win 33-13, 400-plus passing yards, 3 touchdowns, all to Martellus Bennett. The Browns, by the way, had their 4th quarterback play because Cody Kessler, I think, got hurt during the game. So 3 quarterbacks hurt. They're already on quarterback 4. I want to give you a little story about someone on one of the shows that I listened to, The Rap Radio, on Mad Dog Sports Talk. There's a guy who made a prop bet, and he said, I put a bet down that the Browns will play 5 quarterbacks this year. He's already to quarterback number 4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and by the way, hold on. The bet was that 5 different people will take a snap from center, not necessarily quarterback. He said 5 different people will take a snap from quarterback, which means
with the Broncos,
with the Browns.
with the Browns. Oh, yeah.
They already have 4, and they also have Terrell Pryor on their team, who, by the way, played quarterback up until this year. So there may be a play where Terrell Pryor would snap the ball, and this guy's going to win money off of this. They're already on, like I said, their 4th quarterback already. Eagles get their first loss. Carson Wentz also gets his first interception. He had a very long streak at 131 consecutive passes before a interception. There's a fly in the studio, Mike. That's why I'm swatting.
No.
I'm not crazy. That's why I'm swatting.
2 of them.
Lions win 24-23, and my brother, who's an Eagles fan, was in his feelings, and I let him know he is in his feelings about his Eagles. Colts
Should be happy.
29-23 against the Bears. I don't know, man. The Colts, they're 2-3. I don't know. Andrew Luck is he may be the future.
He is the future.
And he's the highest paid player in the NFL. But man, oh man.
Maybe the team is not a fit for him. To be honest with you,
Man,
I'm starting to think about that, man. Because like at the end of the day, you have this guy, you're giving him the weapons, but everything else is.
I don't want to hear the
falling apart.
excuses. I don't want to hear the excuses.
Yeah.
I don't. Because think about Jay Cutler. What did we say? Oh, you got paid all this money. You better perform. What did we say about Tony Romo? You got all this money. You better perform. What did we say about Carson Palmer? You got all this money. You better perform. What did we say about Cam Newton? Do I got to keep on saying the saying?
Hey, they performed,
He just keeps on getting a pass like, oh, the defense is bad.
I'm not giving him no pass.
I'm
not giving him no pass. I'm just
Which the
saying
defense is kind of bad. They have a trash offensive line, but Andrew Luck himself needs to know, okay, this offensive line is not that great. Let me get the ball out of my hand a little faster. Or let me just do the right thing sometime and throw the ball out of bounds near a receiver. So it's just an incomplete pass instead of taking this hit. Some of the hits are on him for just holding the ball too long. And then the turnovers are still on him. He's the one that's throwing the ball, you know. So I feel like Andrew Luck just always gets a pass on these things, and they're not. They're supposed to be in. They're in a division that they're supposed to win, and they're not anywhere close to winning.
Yeah.
We're probably not going to talk about anything about this game. Titans beat the Dolphins 30-17. Vikings undefeated still, 5-0, beat the Texans 31-13. Another 31-13 score. Steelers beat the Jets. Steelers total domination. The Broncos got their first loss against the Falcons. The Falcons might be for real. I don't know. I'm not going to say it yet. But
I'm just going to sip my tea because I said something about the Falcons the other day.
Mike, by the way, is drinking tea as he speaks. He has tea in his hand. So what did you say the other day?
I said the Falcons might be the truth. I said that 2 weeks ago. I said the Falcons and Julio Jones. Like Julio's on 10 right now. Like,
you did say that. And by the way, he did nothing for me fantasy wise. But I mean, talk about fantasy football. It has you wishing ill against your own relatives. I'm in a family football league with my cousins, and the trash talk is real. And I'm actually playing my brother this week, and he beat me by like 3 points. And I had some players that did absolutely nothing. Star players that did nothing, and I still lost by 3 points. Crazy. They'll have you, like I said, wishing ill against your own siblings. Cowboys shellac the Bungles, because they really did look like the Bungles yesterday. The Cowboys defense actually looked like a defense that can do something. At one point, it was 28-0 up until late into the fourth quarter when the Bengals got 2 touchdowns. Ezekiel Elliott, 135 rushing yards on 15 attempts. Dak Prescott with 2 touchdowns of his own. We also had, 3 touchdowns of his own. He had 2. He had 1 pass, 1 run. And then he did have a turnover. It was a fumble, but he hasn't thrown an interception in 130-plus attempts. The only person ahead of him is Tom Brady, where Tom Brady threw 164 passes before his got intercepted. Yeah, I mean, they're looking all right. We will get into some other news about that. Bills beat the Rams 30-19. Bills, this is their first victory in L.A. This is 1979. That's an interesting stat, isn't it, Mike?
I was working on something back here. Sorry about that.
The Bills won their first game in L.A. since 1979. There's going to be a lot of first in L.A. Because, of course, they're back there after 20 years. But even then, like you said, since 1979, whenever the Bills went out to L.A., they had lost up until 94.
And then team anyway for a minute. So
what did he say?
The Bills was not a good team for
Yeah, they weren't. You're right. So
when they started winning, it was like
in the 90s.
So
this was probably the best game so far. Raiders, Chargers, 34-31 went back and forth. And, of course, the Chargers with a lead in the fourth quarter squandered the lead. And in Chargers form, they had a chance to tie it. And they fumbled the kickoff, the snap at the kickoff attempt. I mean, you know what I was about to say. The kick, the field goal attempt, fumbled the snap, lost the game right there. And Packers beat the Giants 23-16 Sunday Night Football. Remember when the Giants, after 2 weeks, everyone was saying this team is for real? They've lost 3 straight games now. Odell Beckham did get a touchdown. First touchdown of the year. But yeah, let's get to the I want to get to your Redskins real quick. I know you spoke about it real quick, but we're going to speak about it some more. Redskins won 16-10 against the Ravens. As I watched the game, I was like, the Ravens are not playing well. And the longer they keep the door open for the Redskins, I think the Redskins will win. And that has happened now 3 consecutive weeks. And that's why they are 3-2 right now. You go back to the Giants game. The Giants had it, but they kept them alive. The Browns at one point were up for a bit, and then they kept the Redskins alive. And that's something I am seeing with the Redskins. If you give them extra chances on offense, they will eventually score. Kirk Cousins, with his propensity to not throw interceptions and not have turnovers, he's the type of person that if he gets more and more chances, then he might make things happen. And if you're going up against the Redskins, I guess the strategy is to keep them off the field, keep their offense off the field as much as possible, because
that means you're making the defense stronger. Like, I'm being honest with you, our defense is gelling. Like I was saying.
No, you're not making the defense stronger. You're gonna. It's actually gonna be the opposite. You'll make them weaker.
I know. I'm just messing around.
But
you don't want the defense on the field running backwards too long. Always.
What do you call it? If you give Kirk Cousins is the type of quarterback that we know is not going to gunsling.
No, he's not. He doesn't.
So if you keep him off
quick.
the field and you have a lead, it's going to be hard for him to come back. We've seen this now for 2+ years where they're down by a lot of points. He ain't coming back because he's not throwing the ball. He's not throwing interceptions. But they kept on giving them opportunities. Also, let's give credit to the Redskins defense. They were getting to Flacco. They were getting to him. Also, they were getting to their receivers. Their receivers were not catching a thing. I know Steve Smith had to leave the game. The Ravens also lost a crucial, I think it was Marshall Yanda from the offensive line, who's a Pro Bowl caliber lineman. But still, the Ravens still, I think, should beat a team like the Redskins, but they did not. And the Redskins, Josh Norman injured his hand, came back, played a good game. Trent Murphy played a very good game. Kerrigan played well. Mason Foster. These guys played really well. Also, special teams won the game, I think. Jameson Crowder with a touchdown on a punt return. Also, the Ravens tried to, instead of kicking the field goal, which would have been a 30-yard field goal, they decided to go to a fake field goal pass, and the pass gets deflected, and the Ravens end up with 0 points. And look at that. You could have got 3 points there. Oh, also they had a play where they intercepted the ball, intercepted a Cousins pass, and ran it back to the 1-yard line, and C.J. Mosley fumbles the ball at the 1-yard line into the end zone. Instead of being a touchdown, or at least ball on the 1-yard line, it became a touchback. That was a game changer right there. Because it was like, after everything, we get a shot and we still don't score. And then Flacco throws a pass down the sideline with 30 seconds left that looked like a touchdown, but the receiver didn't get the second foot in. Josh Norman did a great job even after allowing the catch to at least push him. So he was off balance and he couldn't get that second foot down. I mean, they're alive. They're 3-2 right now. They are now still number 3 in the division because of the amount of losses. Eagles are 3-1. Redskins are 3-2. Cowboys are 4-1. And the Giants are now 2-3 in the NFC East. NFC East, man, there's always some drama, no matter what. So we do have we got 5 minutes left, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay, so we do have tonight's. Let's predict tonight's game, and then also this upcoming week of games. Tonight's game, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going up against the Carolina Panthers. Who's going to win that game?
I'm going to give it to the Buccaneers. Throwing it out there. Buccaneers.
I think the Buccaneers, we spoke about them earlier this year. We said how, Jameis Winston might be better. And, he came in slimmer and knows the playbook more. I just think that team really isn't good, and I think their coaching staff isn't that good. They tried to put the blame on Lovie Smith, who, by the way, led a terrible Bears team to the Super Bowl. and they didn't give Lovie Smith enough time in Tampa. It was only 2 years, I think.
Yeah, it was only
And
two.
they said they fired Lovie Smith because they knew their great offensive coordinator, Dirk Cutter, was going to leave to get another job. So they fired Lovie Smith for him to take this job, and he's done absolutely nothing. So far, he's not a good coach. I know it's 4 games in. He's not a good head coach. So you did all of this to someone who's proven to give your offensive coordinator some love. But yeah, so far, it's not proven. I think Carolina's going to. Well, hold on. Let me take that back because Cam Newton might not play because he got a concussion last week.
That's wild.
He might not play tonight. It's not clear yet. I'm going to say this. No, I'm still going with Carolina. I think Tampa really isn't good. I think Derek Anderson has enough experience that he could win a game at home against the Buccaneers. So let's get on to week 6 in the NFL. Where are they? Week 6 in the NFL. And let's start off with the Thursday night game. Denver Broncos. We're going to go quickly, rapid fire. Just give me who's going to win. Broncos versus the Chargers Thursday night.
Broncos.
I'm definitely going with the Broncos. The Chargers are horrible. 49ers visiting the Bills.
49ers.
If Colin Kaepernick plays, they will beat the Bills. Eagles visiting the Redskins.
I'm going to pick the Redskins, but the Eagles is a tough team. Just letting you know.
I think the Eagles bounce back, especially after the way they lost. Browns visiting the Titans.
The Titans?
Yeah.
Titans.
I think the Browns get their first win of the season against the Titans. Ravens visiting the Giants.
I think the Ravens are going to come back harder because I don't think they like what happened this past Sunday.
Ravens are going to win. They're going to put so much pressure on Eli. Eli will not have enough time. Panthers visiting the Saints.
Panthers visiting the Saints. The Saints ain't no Aints anymore, so we're going to go with the Saints.
The Saints may still be Aints, especially if Cam Newton comes back. Panthers win. They will, at that point, then be 3-3.
If Cam Newton has to play twice, I don't think they win against the Saints.
Jaguars visiting the Bears.
Bears.
I'm going with the Jaguars. Rams visiting the Lions.
What, visiting the Lions?
Yes.
I'm going with Detroit.
I'm going with Detroit also. Steelers visiting the Dolphins.
I'm going with Steelers.
I'm going with the Steelers also. Bengals on the road against the Patriots.
Ooh, that's a good one. I'm going to go with Patriots. The Patriots seem like they stay in the form. So.
I'm going with the Patriots also. Bengals, they've been missing Tyler Eifert, but I think with him being on the field, I don't know. We're going to see. When he comes back, if they start playing well, he might have been the difference. But, yeah, they're not playing too good so far. Chiefs on the road against the Raiders.
The Chiefs.
I'm going with the Raiders. Falcons on the road against the Seahawks.
Falcons.
Yes, I'm going with the Falcons also. Cowboys against the Packers.
Packers.
I'm gonna have to say the Packers to be smart. Yes, you know they're my boys, but I'm gonna have to go with the Packers to be smart. This might be the game that we get caught. Colts on Sunday Night Football visiting the Texans.
All right, so if Luck doesn't win this game in prime time like this, I don't know. Something might end up happening with Luck.
I think the Colts will win, but if the Colts lose, Chuck Pagano is definitely out the door as head coach. Losing on prime, this is what happens when you lose on prime time, or you lose, like you said.
Something has changed on prime time.
We thought Pagano would have got fired in London because a lot of coaches get fired
after London. Yeah.
After London, but I think what saved Pagano was, remember, the Colts after their trip to London did not take a bye week.
Yeah.
Usually there's that bye week.
But he made that
and
decision.
Coaches say, the organization made that decision that they didn't want the bye week then. And usually when coaches go out there and they lose a bad game in London, they say, "Hey, we got this bye week. Let's fire this dude now, and then we got a week to prepare with the interim head coach." And I think with no bye week, it allowed Pagano another life. You lose on national television this coming week, he might be out the door. And then the Monday night game, Jets against the Cardinals.
The Cardinals, man. Cardinals are not to be played with. Just have to say it like that, man.
if Carson Palmer does not play, I think the Jets got this, even with Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's playing horrible.
Hey.
We got time for these memes?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let's get through these sports memes real quick. Meme number 1. Russell Westbrook plus Jimmy Butler equals Lamar Jackson. Isn't that true? Cam Newton and the Panthers are 1-3 so far. Yes, this was after last week's game. The Chiefs literally left the match. Like they didn't show up last Sunday night. Vikings bring out corner they signed off the street to cover Odell. He's doing a hell of a job. They did shut down Odell Beckham last Monday night. He had his worst statistical game of his career. Blaine Gabbert's number 1 receiver is the Arizona defense. That was true. We have any more, Mike?
Give me a second.
I can't remember what I put, so that's why I'm asking. Oh, these clowns are getting out of hand. They really are. All 4 of them are all getting out of hand. Even Cowboys fans don't like Cowboys fans. Isn't that true, Mike? That is very true, because there's some Cowboys fans I do not like as a Cowboys fan.
I mean,
I'm just like,
it's the same
y'all
thing
are
in the
annoying.
Redskin culture. Some Redskin fans I don't like. I'm not going to tell them, like, hey, I hate you. I'm like, okay, cool.
I don't think it's as I don't
You're
think
just going to be over there yelling about some stuff that's not true. Okay, cool. Be over there.
I don't know, man. There's some ignorant Cowboys fans, man.
They're
That I'm just
people,
like,
bro.
bruh, man. Why are you talking right now? Why are you talking, man? So we said, you said Buccaneers will win tonight. Is that what you said?
I think the Buccaneers will win tonight.
I think the Panthers will win tonight, and we will see. I think our Nats are gonna pull it off, right, Mike?
I think so. I think they're going to go to L.A. Man,
I think
wish
they're winning
that-
the next 2.
I'm actually happy that they're going to L.A. immediately because they take some momentum in with them. So
Yep, I think we're winning both games in LA, coming back home to wait for our opponent, which will probably be the Chicago Cubs, who are gonna still I'm fumbling with words right now. They're still gonna have a curse, because I already told y'all the Nats winning the World Series. I already told y'all that.
yeah, you said that at the beginning of the season.
I already told y'all that, man. How much time we got, Mike?
None.
Oh, all right. Well, so let's get out of here then. I want to thank you, Mike, for everything that you do. I want to thank everyone for watching and listening. Uncle Yank is already in the building, so stay tuned for him. And until next time, Sports Reality. Peace.
Shows they loving me, but I don't know why I keep calling, why I keep calling you.
All the models to the floor right now. All the models to the floor right now. What? Huh? All the models to the floor right now. All the models to the floor right now.